I just wanted to ask all the candidates whether they have any particular views on climate change and peak oil, and whether they are aware of the ramifications of both of them for our Shire. Also, it just seems that people may be going to put too much hope into tourism coming into the Shire, and if we do have the effects which they're predicting for rainforests and the Great Barrier Reef, then what other suggestions do the candidates have as to some kind of economic development for the area?
I think we probably have reached peak oil. Certainly America has, and the world may well be very close to it if it hasn't already got there. I grow sugar amongst other things, and I'd love to see an ethanol industry develop. Certainly the way sugar is going at the moment, that is already the third industry in this Shire, and could well be going further down the list. I'm also the chairman of the Cassowary Coast Local Marine Advisory Committee to Garumpa, Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority. And we have been doing a deal of study on climate change, including having meetings in this very room on the topic. And there's also, through state government funding, been a flood impact study done for Cardinal Shire. And that is absolutely incredible. I commend you to go and have a look at your own property on those on that CD. It's extraordinary when you look at the effects from flooding and how that might affect your very property. And it is scary. But it's going to be a very useful tool for council in terms of future planning that was not letting blocks be developed in areas that are going to go under in floods or storm surge. And I would commend you to have a look at that study.
Very much multiple questions. But climate change and peak oil, certainly climate change is being blamed for a lot of the natural events that have been occurring over the last couple of years. Whether that's the case or not is due to individuals' interpretation, but certainly our local areas, Cardinal Shire has already done it, Johnson Shire is in the process of doing it, and that is to assess the whole of the coastal areas in our Cassowary Coast Regional Council area for storm surge, and building heights will need to be adjusted for that. Setbacks from the beach fronts will need to be adjusted for that, as areas in the floodplain, river floodplain areas have needed to be adjusted. And we don't want our community to be inundated like Mackay has done in very recent times. The opportunities for other than tourism, there are great opportunities for other than tourism. There are opportunities for water-based industries, because we have plenty of fresh, clean water up in this area up here, and there's many industries throughout Australia that need volumes of water through their industry, so we can go out of our way and attract those to the area. The Innisfail Industrial Estate just recently, the Department of State Development and Innovation developed 6 industrial blocks of land. When they called for expressions of those, there was 20 applications. So there's a great shortage of industrial land in the whole of the Cassowary Coast area. So there's opportunities to attract industry to the area also.
The question that if we are to lose our rainforests and if our beaches are to be eroded, that it's going to have an enormous impact on tourism. And we are at Mission Beach very dependent on tourism. I'm very concerned about that. Because if we have a pilot strike or any disaster, whether it be caused by climate change or some other event, Mission Beach is going to be held hostage to the effects. In a tourism meeting that I attended a while ago, I used figures from the Cummings report on tourism, and it showed that while tourism in this region is growing, or in the Cardinal Shire region, is almost equal to sugar, something like 95 million compared to 110 million, it still is worth only a quarter or 25% of the Shire's economy. That isn't true, of course, of Mission Beach. Here our dependence is far greater on tourism. We do need to encourage and attract diversity. We do need to look at new industries. Now, if I had the magic bullet and I knew what it was, I probably would have started up whatever that business might be. But I don't have it, And it does mean that I believe the council has a responsibility to engage a highly qualified person as an economic development officer to assist people who might be attracted to moving to our area to set up alternative industries. Water-based industries, for example, such as Neil just described to you.
Issue obviously is huge for all of us. I'm an avid reader of Dr. David Suzuki's material, and the concept of thinking global, acting local is really huge for us, whether it's as simple as changing to energy efficient bulbs and all of the things that we know we can do. We need to be addressing those things that we can do. Some of it's out of our control. So the biggest issues facing us, and it affects not only tourism but local residents, of course, is inundation of our properties. And we don't like looking at the figures, and we don't want to know about some of it, but it may be things that are real concerns for us in the future. Again, it's a process of education, and I'm reminded of my grandson's school where they have a program called the Turn It Off program, where they turn everything off at lunchtime before they go outside. It's all of those little issues that we can do, little steps we can take that can help. In terms of attracting other business to this region, as most of you know, I was the founding president of the Business Women's Network in this district, and we work very hard to support new businesses. We make them welcome, we set up a forum, mentoring, growth and training for all businesses. And so in time, we will be seeing, as our region grows, develops and prospers, many new industries and initiatives come along, and we'll be there to support them. Thank you.
Climate change is a concern for everyone. I think the last election really highlighted that to us all. Climate change, it will impact. I've done 2 health and environment studies. Climate change is really going to cause us some concerns up here. It's going to increase the incidence of tropical diseases, particularly dengue. The other thing is building too close to the ocean. This is of real concern. There needs to be an area between the beach and the buildings. The poles in Innisfail, that was one indication of weather. Mackay would have loved those a few weeks ago. They would have felt quite safe because they would have known where the water was going to come to, and they could have left their houses before they had to sort of swim out with their possessions. Tourism, climate change is going to have an effect on that. It will affect our rainforests in one way or the other. If it becomes too wet, we'll have issues, and same as if it becomes too dry.